You guys, hello, welcome back to another Colour With Me, Colour and Chat. Today I thought we would colour in my latest colouring book that I received a few weeks ago, and I finally have time to sit down and do a page in here. But first, before we begin, I'm going to talk about this book, because it has been the bane of my colouring book life for a little while. Just as a side note, this is the Disney 300 Coloriage Hatchet Heroes colouring book. It's 300 pages of Disney wonderfulness, Disney magic, and the edges are, as you can see, gilded. The reason why this book has been the bane of my life, about a year or so ago, I saw it and it took me a while to decide whether I wanted it or not. And by the time I realized I did want it, it was sold out, never to be seen again, or so I thought. Actually, you know what? When I talk, I'm going to do a little flip through. I won't do a whole flip through because it's 300 pages. Anyway, so I kept checking it. It's been on my wish list for a while. And just like all things on your colouring book wish list, you check things. So I think sometime earlier this year, I saw this book and it was selling for $300. I'm like, are you crazy? I cannot spend that much on a colouring book. Anyway, so I just sat on it for a while, still in my wish list. And then I think, what are we now? November. So probably sometime in October, I rechecked this book and it was back in stock properly for $60. Now I know that's Australian Amazon, Australian dollars. And I know that still is a lot for a colouring book, but I was willing to pay the price. And I was just so excited, and it finally arrived. And now I have it in my hot little stumpy hands. And as you can see, you've got dot to dot, you've got pages to colour, and you've got the colour by number, the colour by number pages. This is what Hatchet Heroes do. They're so... Like, I've got a few of their colour by number, which is in my Disney colouring book collection. But dot to dots, oh my god, like, these are just the funnest thing. And I remember doing these as a kid. So there's a tiny bit of nostalgia with this book, as Disney is. So you've got all the classic people, you've got like the Pixar characters to colour, like there's Wally and Eve. Like, this book just offers everything. This is the mother of all Disney Hatchet Hero colouring books. And you've got, like I said, 300 pages to choose from. Oh my goodness, look, there's Merlin, Vanellope, if I said her name properly. Like, all the Disney characters you can think of. Yeah, so I'm just so grateful and excited to have this book in my collection. So I thought, as part of my hype and excitement, we will colour in a page. So you've got all sorts you can colour in here. And then you've got like the colour by numbers. Oh, it offers the dot to dot things as well. Anyway, I won't look at that too much because I want to be surprised. And that is the back. I do apologise. That was a really long backstory to this book, but let me tell you, it's been a journey. So the page I thought we would colour is this Pinocchio page. This is the the graffiti Disney colouring style page. I do have the graffiti Hatchet Heroes Disney colouring book. I don't know if this one is in there. However, we are going to colour this one today. So let me just set my things up. The colour pencils I am using will be my beautiful Prismacolors, because I don't think I've actually used them for a colour and chat. And these I find are just perfect for Disney, when you're colouring Disney pages, because so many vibrant, bright colours. And just as a little thing I have on the side is just as a reference, because normally when I colour Disney pages, I would get just Google the character that I'm colouring. But I have these little Walt Disney classic books. There's a whole set of them. And so I thought I would just leave this one open in case I do need a reference to Pinocchio. They're just so cute and so nostalgic. That's why I got the whole set. So I'm going to leave this on the side somewhere, so in case I do need a reference for the Pinocchio. Yeah, so I'm going to use my Prismacolors, and if I want to, I've decided to get all my Jelly Roll, Moonlight and Souffle pens here, just in case I want to have a play around with those. So they're going to be on the side. Now let me sort out my colours that I'm going to start with, and I'll come back. Alright, took me ages to pick the three colours, but we've got beige sienna, we've got henna, and we've got light peach, and that's just for Pinocchio himself, so his face and the wood bits he has. And I was just looking at my reference book, and his face is like a skin colour, but then the wood is wood colour. So it took me a little while to try and decide what colours I would use. The only thing with this book is you probably can't use any alcohol markers, because it's a double-sided, it's got your double-sided pages. I mean, you could if you really wanted to, but you would have to you'd have to sacrifice the page behind the page you want to use the markers on. So that's why I'm using colour pencil, and I'll probably use colour pencil. I don't know if water markers would be good for this. I haven't tested any art supplies on this. Cheeks a bit of colour. It's been a little while since I've actually used my Prismacolors. They're just so smooth. And they're just so easy to blend out. You gotta emphasize the smile. And now for his puppet bits, I'm going to use my beige sienna. Now hopefully I can try and make this look like wood. Oh, and there's the cat. What have I got here? Yep, okay. Chestnut it is. Shade the woody bits. I've never really had to colour in like wood, so I don't know how this will actually turn out, but I'm just going to wing the bits today. Actually just get a little darker brown. This is going to be very fiddly. So I want to try and get like the cracks of the wood, just to emphasize that it is wood. The reason why I picked Pinocchio, it was a big toss-up between this Pinocchio page or Mirabelle. There's a beautiful Mirabelle from Encanto in this book, but I just couldn't help myself with Pinocchio. I loved Pinocchio. Well, I still like Pinocchio, but you know, the Disney movie I think was on repeat for me as a kid. And I remember I had the English version and I had the Italian version on VHS back in the 90s when I was a little girl, and I watched both of them, and oh my god, it's the best thing when you're growing up. I grew up with a lot of Disney. That's why I'm a sucker for anything Disney, really. Just can't help it. But yeah, Pinocchio was just so magical. And when the fairy came, I just loved her. And it's actually a bit sentimental because Dad loved this as well. And he reminds me of Geppetto a little bit, because my dad, he was like, his side hobby was a carpenter, so he used to work with, he did like furniture restorations, and he did some really beautiful restorations. So he was always in his shed working with his wood bits and tools, and yeah, it's very, Pinocchio I think is very sentimental. Well, the Disney version anyway, because that's the only version I've been exposed to, really. Yeah, me and my dad loved Disney films. I think I'm lucky in that way, because if I was watching a Disney film, he would... Oh, Beatrice. Sorry, my cat's next to me scratching. If I watched a Disney film, he would be there with me watching it. So we both loved it together. Okay, well, I don't know what I'm really doing with the wood there, but that's okay. Go away, Beatrice. The next lot of colours I have is canary yellow, cerulean blue, poppy red, and sienna brown. And that's going to be for all his clothing and accessories. So we'll start with his bow, which is the blue, and I'm gonna make his eyes blue, the same blue, because they're blue. Now I just want to apologize. My hands are not having a good week this week. I do have a cat scratch on there, but also I'm a nurse and we wash our hands all the bloody time, and just between the soap and the alcohol gel, I do get a bit of like dermatitis-y stuff every now and then. I do notice it more in summer, with the heat, that's when my hands just don't have a good time, and it has been hot, and it's another hot day today. So I do apologize if they do look a bit unhealthy at the moment. I can't help that. I try and do what I can to manage it, so so they don't get too nasty-pasty. However, it's just the consequence of when you're, have to wash your hands all the time. And the hospital air is very dry as well. And I do try and use the gentler stuff. But, yeah, it doesn't hurt or anything. But it's just there on my hands, so I do apologize about the grossness of my hands. Alright, that's his little bow. And now we will try and figure out his little overalls. So he does have a white, so that's a white bit. So I think all his overalls are all, oh no, hold on. He's got a t-shirt. Wait a minute. Underneath. So I think this is yellow. We'll go with that. Now, I don't know why I didn't do his nose. It doesn't change colour. Oh, wrong one. Oops. I'll just quickly fill that in. Won't take us long. And for his little shoes, we are going in with the sienna brown. Now I know I promised if I was going to do any more colour and chats or colour with me's, it would be a Christmas one, because it's November and it is the season. But I just got too excited by this book. I couldn't stop myself. I just had to dig in straight away. So I promise for the December colour and chat, that will definitely be the Christmas one. I've got a few Christmas colouring books, and I will definitely be getting those out. There's his little shoes, and his hair is easy. We are just going to go right in with the black. I'll give his hair a little bit of a shiny moment. What can we do next? Maybe I'll do his gloves and his hat. I will just need to find some colours for the hat. I'll be back. So the colour of his hat, just looking through, is like a goldy colour. So I'm just going to use the bronze for his hat. And then you've got the blue band with the red feather. Now, I've just noticed he's got the donkey ears and the tail. So we'll have to try and... I don't know why I didn't notice that before. I thought it was just part of the blobs. So we'll have to try and do something with those. I don't know how I'm going to approach those, but maybe with my pens we can figure out something. Going to move the pencils over here, and then we will do his gloves. I'm just going to get a grey just to shade them in a bit. Now I know you probably won't be able to see this at all on a camera. Right, my little Pinocchio is coming together. And then for the apple, we will make it a red apple. Not that I have to follow this reference completely. I was contemplating making it green, but no, we'll go with red. Nothing is more enticing than a red apple, I think. A little stem. The green for the book is Prussian green. Can't believe it's November already. I think I said that in my last colour and chat. But I'm just still so shocked. It's just crept up so quickly. I just don't know what to do with myself, really. So guys, tell me in the comments, what is your favorite Disney movie, if you have one? If you're like me, I can't answer that because I just have too many favorites. Like, I love the classics, and I did grow up with the classics, you know, like Lady and the Tramp, Cinderella, Pinocchio. So they're on the list of the favorites. The Little Mermaid, just all the classics. But I do appreciate, and I do like some of the Pixar movies. Sorry. Like Frozen, Wall-E, Encanto, like I do love all those as well. But yeah, if you're feeling enthusiastic, just leave a comment on what your favourite Disney film is. Or films. Because I don't think you can really have more than one. The Lion King, Aladdin, The Jungle Book. So good. Now, for the stones, I want to try something. I want to do this is 70% warm grey with Imperial Violet, because I wanted like purple stones, but I want to keep the grey colour. And seeing as there wasn't much purple grey, I might just have to mix these two colours together. So hopefully this will turn out. You know how you have something pictured in your mind, but then it doesn't really turn out? So I'm just going to play around with these stones and see whether it works. Because I'm in my head, what I'm thinking is if the stones are just grey, it's too bland. I want a bit of like pop of colour. So all I'm gonna do is kind of just mix the two colours together and just see what happens. Okay, that's not too bad. I'll have to get my black and just shade a little bit of the stones as well. Shade along the outside too. And later I'm gonna go over the smudge marks here. That's where the gel pens will come in handy, hopefully. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through and colour all the stones here. This will take me a little while, and then I'll come back and we'll see what we can do next. Okay, stones are all done. Time for a quick coffee break, and I've decided to colour the Pinocchio writing in this, it's like a bright neon yellow. So let's go ahead with that. Oh yeah, that's bright. Because I kind of want to keep the graffiti. You know when you see graffiti, it's all bright and colourful. That's what I'm kind of going for here. Those stones took me ages, but I am liking how they turned out. Just with a pop of purple. Sip of coffee. I really need the extra caffeine today. I don't know why. So on days off, I always get up super early and then I can't go back to sleep. Like, I've been awake since 4 o'clock and I'm not a morning person, so I'm not one of those people that can just get up at 4 and start being productive. Like, my body just wants to sleep, but my brain is wide awake and I can't go back to sleep. And I don't know why that happens when you've got days off. Whereas if I'm working, and sometimes I do early morning shifts, nope, when my alarm goes off, I am in the deepest sleep and I just don't want to get out of bed. But why is it always on your days off where you have the time to sleep in? You don't have to be up, especially not at 4 o'clock in the morning. Why does my body do that? It is very frustrating. This yellow is so cool. Now all we have left to do is the graffiti blobs. I don't actually know what colour I want to do those. And maybe do something with the donkey ears and tail. Alright, so what I've decided is I'm going to go with Jelly Roll Moonlight. I'm just going to outline them with the pink and outline the drips, and then for the little blotches I'm going to do in this green, so you'll see what I mean when we start. And I'm hoping these pens will be okay, because I thought the Moonlight pens in the Sakura Jelly Rolls are meant for like going over black stuff. So hopefully this will work. Just because it is a graffiti page, and like I said before, I kind of want to give it some bright colors. I'm just going to drip, drip, drip down here. And then we're going with the teal. And now I have to try and find the blotch marks. And I have to try and make them look blotchy. So what I might do is I might just go along and fill in all the green blotches, and we'll come back. Okay, so all the graffiti blobs are done. What I'm going to do for the final element is just go over some of the writing and put some white Posca pen over it, just to give it a bit of sparkle or whatever. And then I'm going to call this picture done. Let me just get... Now I'm hoping the jelly roll has dried so I don't smudge when I do the Posca. I don't know if this will make any difference at all. You know what? You probably can't see any of this. And the final bit here. Okay. You probably can't even notice anything that I've just done with the white Posca on the writing, but that's okay. It kind of, the white kind of does blend in with the neon yellow, but it's all good. I'm going to call this picture done, guys. I really like, I mean, honestly, you can't go wrong with Prismacolor pencils. And I really like the Prismacolor and then the bold blotches of the graffiti in the background. Like, I think you can just get so creative with these types of, or this style of Disney images. And, you know, just colouring in Disney pages is just so much fun, and it's just really, it's a really good time. So yeah, thank you so much for coloring with me, and I will see you soon for the next video. Ciao, ciao.